Hey there folks, Aldershot here, and we're going to do a quick look into Square Heroes, developed by Nomadic Studios and on sale on Steam at the regular price around $10 USD. Now Square Heroes is kind of an interesting little multiplayer focused arena game where you'll be taking control of these little square dudes, alright, and we'll be kind of killing all these kind of floating NPCs. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to collect the money out of them, right? Because right now we're only using melee, but as we collect more money, we'll expand our arsenal. Like, I think, yeah, we got enough for a gun right now, so we'll use that, because obviously these guys are still using melee, because they haven't collected enough money to upgrade to a pistol, and that'll obviously give us a bit of a tactical advantage, at least in the early game, right? So in the early to maybe mid-game, the goal of the game is really kind of an arsenal race to whoever can collect the most powerful weapons as quickly as possible, so you get that tactical advantage, right? Now, the guns in this game isn't unlimited ammo. As you can see, I'm out of ammo, so you do have to collect these little loot crates, which will give you ammo drops, hopefully. Sometimes they'll give you health, sometimes they'll give you coins, you know, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, they will kind of attract other players as well. So these kind of loot spawns they also kind of serve as kind of action choke points, if you will, where a lot of players will kind of gather and focus a lot of energy into kind of hoarding and collecting all the good loot, so either they'll get it or so you don't get it, right? So it makes for interesting kind of tactical play there. As you get more and more of your arsenal, you know, you can get different weapons such as a shotgun, a pistol, maybe a rocket launcher, maybe a grenade launcher, you know. You can even get little passive effects where it'll either regenerate your ammo or regenerate your health, depending on what you customize. Because you can actually collect and upgrade different weapons as well as you play through the game. As you collect more XP, you unlock more weapons and cosmetic items as well. Like right now I'm wearing a funny little umbrella party hat, hooray, lots of fun there, alright, so, you know, the game definitely incentivizes a little bit of replay, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to collect if you're into it. Now, the game looks pretty good as well, I gotta say. I like the little cartoony style, it's pretty charming, and the characters are pretty expressive, as you can see, you know, as he's kind of cringing, trying to aim his gun at his enemies, or, you know, be happy when he collects an ammo crate or something like that. You know, the characters are actually quite expressive, they're quite charming, they're quite likable, I have to say. The overall art style is pretty well designed. I'm definitely a fan, I have to say. But my only point of concern for this game is that it is a multiplayer focused game. In fact, this is the first day of its release as of this recording, and unfortunately I haven't really gotten into too many games where there's actual players playing. Like right now I'm actually playing against all bots. These are all bots. Most of my experience with this game has been with bots, alright, which is definitely a point of concern when you're talking about a multiplayer focused game, and it's definitely something you'll have to keep in mind when investing money into these multiplayer focused little indie games, because oftentimes they won't really hold much of a player base, which is a bit unfortunate, of course, right? Because if it's a multiplayer based kind of game and single player isn't all that engaging, to be completely honest, then you're going to want players playing your game. That's the only time where you'll be having a whole lot of fun with it. And the few times I have played with other players, I did have a fair amount of fun, I have to say. You know, there's definitely some good ideas here. I like the way you attain new pieces of your arsenal, you know, whether it be your shotgun, which we have now, which we'll definitely use because it's pretty fancy, or, you know, cosmetic items and all that kind of stuff. Either way, it's definitely a lot more fun with real players behind the wheel, if you will. Now, my biggest problem with games like this is that, you know, $10 isn't really asking a whole lot, and I'm not saying that this game isn't worth $10 by any means, but I think if this game was priced cheaper, say $5 or something like that, or even free to play but have the cosmetics as like a small fee for players who are really interested in investing in this game, I think it could potentially be more successful, just because, you know, free to play games, there's no bar of entry, anyone can get into it, and that'll definitely expand its player base as well as its longevity in its life as well, right? Or even if you lower the price to say $5, it'll definitely make it a lot more accessible, and the game will probably sell more in volume, and because of that, the game will have a larger player base, which it definitely needs, right? Just like any other multiplayer focused game. So that is definitely a point of concern, right? Whether or not this game will hold a player base at all, because to be honest, I haven't really seen a whole lot of players playing online, and this is the first day of its release. Maybe it'll get popular, who knows? Maybe it'll grow in its player base. Hopefully it does, because it actually is kind of fun once you actually get into a game with actual players, right? The upgrade system and the way that you can collect your arsenal throughout the match is all very interesting little points. It's also pretty easy to get into the game as well. Like, it's pretty low bar of entry as far as the learning curve is concerned. You can pretty much jump into it, start shooting things, and kind of get the gist of it, right? It's not too hard to understand. But overall, I have to say, Square Heroes isn't a bad game on its own. It definitely has some interesting ideas, for sure. My only point of real concern, again, is its player base. And I think lowering the price points would definitely help with that. Or even considering it going to free-to-play model and have the cosmetics and all that stuff as sort of like part of the pay model in order for developers to make money. Obviously, they gotta put food on the table, right? But player base, that's the biggest concern I have for a game like this. And it's not just for a game, it's not just for Square Heroes either, it's for any little indie multiplayer based game. Again, it's not really a fault of the game itself, but it is a point of concern for anyone who might be interested in Square Heroes. But anyways, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you found this informative, hopefully you found this enjoyable. If you did, show me some love, like, share, fave, and comments. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'll bring you more videos like this. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching. Oliver shoutouts.